The U.S. education system is in crisis. It's been failing too many of our young people for a long time.
And I think that sometimes we need advocacy, but we need people at the top making good decisions for each and every child.
If kids don't master reading by the 3rd grade, their chances of success fall dramatically. The longer they're in school, the more of them just don't make it. 1 in 6 kids who can't read by the 3rd grade don't graduate high school on time. And a staggering 33%, that's 1/3 of poor Black and brown boys in this country, drop out of high school.
Public school is in a crisis, but it's one we could come out of.
You don't know from today to next week if you're going to get an email like a lot of other employees got last weekend that said, thank you, but you don't have a job next year.
We were already in an educational disaster zone, and then the COVID-19 pandemic hit.
What COVID forced us to do was go back to individual teaching. And the kids were not working in groups for a whole quarter and then a whole summer. And I've noticed just a really strong lack of being able to empathize and being able to work together.
So our boys that are participating are 3rd graders, but last year they didn't get to finish 2nd grade because of COVID and the pandemic happening. They jumped right into 3rd grade this year without that foundational piece coming from 2nd grade. They didn't get to finish all of that.
With less classroom time and limited access to technology, kids from challenging economic backgrounds are falling through the cracks. Falling behind in class leads to doing worse on standardized tests. What is the downstream impact of a kid's negative test score? It leads to negative school performance scores, which greatly impacts the teachers, budgets, community, and our nation.
They're a test score. They're a 215 on FSA. Oh, well, you missed it by 1 point. Sorry. You're retained in 3rd grade.
So what is the point? What are we trying to do with these tests?
Every kid has a story. Every kid has a family. Every kid lives in a community. Every kid needs a support system. And no standardized test can measure all their talents, struggles, and challenges, or tell the true story of their potential.
There's a life story, which honestly for all of our kids, there's life stories. There's so much more than what you see on camera or what you see in person that goes behind the scenes of that student's life.
We're facing huge learning gaps. There are going to be students that have trouble graduating high school based on this time, this year and last year from the pandemic.
The time has come to fix the system, save our kids, and save our future.
Until we do right about Black children, and especially our Black males, this thing is never going to get better.
It's a vicious cycle, and it needs to stop because kids, their parents, and their schools are more than a test score.